I'll never back down. I'll never back down. I'll never back down. I get up when I'm bleeding, barely breathing. I'll never back down.
This is the collision of common sense and comedy. This is Defenders Live.
I'll never back down. Thought I was 6 feet under. But now it's your turn to face the fight.
It's Monday.
It is Monday.
Monday.
Da da. Da, 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 da. And you know, Monday has a bunch of like stories that come out.
They do.
And it's a lot of Monday stories.
oddly enough,
A lot of Monday stories.
A lot of people think that Friday is my favorite show because we don't do anything. We're literally
just chatting.
All F's are gone. No cares in the world. It's whatever happens. We don't care because it's Friday.
Right. It's Friday, yeah.
But no, my favorite show actually is Monday because so much crap
Happened over the weekend.
drops on the weekend. And the best part is a lot of it is stuff that nobody else talks about.
And then the best part is that stuff happens on the weekend. Everybody talks about all the stuff that happens on the weekend. Nobody gets to anything that happened on Monday.
Yep. But we do.
We do.
And this is why I like Mondays. The rest of the week is like,
whatever.
Monday's kind of my favorite because there's so much more, at least to me, there's more depth.
Yeah.
There's more substance.
More viability for good
Yes.
stories.
Yeah.
And I mean, we do have a lot of stories. We could go into depth over some of the stuff. We got lots of stories that we could run.
We're not going to get through all of them
Probably
tonight.
not. We have a few that we have to get through, i.e. the title of the show. But that's
Yeah.
that's we're gonna get there.
We'll get there.
We're gonna get there. Okay.
That's the wrong SB number, by the way. It's 5, not 9.
Oh, whoops.
I just noticed that. It's the wrong number, sir. It's
405 then.
SB
Okay,
405, not 409.
That's
We'll
my
get to
fault.
that
That's my fault.
in a moment.
I fixed it.
A little prelude to the excitement.
it. I'm fixing it.
You do that.
I'm fixing it. All right. So while I'm fixing this,
We have a.
I just gotta ask you a quick question. So anybody else watch the Olympics? I
used to.
I'm even laughing when I say it.
I know. I used to like watching the Olympics. I did. It was the one moment I thought, of course, I was a kid, so I thought like this about everything.
Right.
But I thought it was that moment where, Americans and the world got together and it was,
This magic moment.
not quite, but yeah, it was supposed to be better and it was neat. And you see all these amazing people who've worked really hard to get where they've gotten. And
This is what it's like when the worlds collide.
yes. Wow.
Thank you.
That's a pull.
I know,
Anyway.
right?
But yeah, no, I used to love watching it, and now I'm just like,
Not so much.
not so much.
Not so much. Yeah, well, there's a lot more people out there that are also of that frame of mind, specifically anybody who likes to watch basketball in the Olympics, which, why would you?
Well, because it's really funny to watch
Okay. I got
America. America, let's be honest.
Where did basketball got
originated?
famous?
In America, like
got
we
famous.
made the game.
We made the game, right?
Yeah. It's
like the game is America's game at this
It's like,
point.
honestly, it's like watching America play in FIFA. It's the same thing. It's forever. Europe laughs whenever we play because
Right.
they get to watch us go, oh, look at them. They're so cute.
Oh, it's so funny.
They're like little kids. It's adorable.
It's great.
And that's
Right.
what we people like. I used to love watching the NBA.
Right.
Because it was all of the top stars, all of the best of the best
Yep,
in the
yep,
NBA
yep. Yeah.
destroying like,
Everyone in the universe, basically. It's
and
like
by lots.
52-2. The record
I know.
is 52-2.
I know.
Guess where one of those two came from?
That would be this past go around.
Yeah.
This is how bad I don't pay attention to the Olympics. I didn't even know what was going on.
I didn't either.
I didn't know.
I heard about it. Oh my gosh.
So we lost, huh?
Yeah.
The United States basketball team lost.
Uh-huh.
Who did we lose to?
Nigeria.
I'm sorry. What? Who?
Yeah.
You said Nigeria.
I did say Nigeria.
We should have paid that prince.
We didn't need to pay him. We just needed to accept the money.
That's what I'm saying. We should have sent him the money and everything would have been fine.
Everything would have been good.
We lost to Nigeria.
Nigeria. This is like a bad edition of White Men Can't Jump.
It is kind of ironic because all of the black people that were playing, which most of them were, I'm assuming,
Yes.
for the U.S.,
Yeah.
have become white in their elitism and then turn around and blame everybody else for being white. And then they got stomped by actual black people. That's fantastic.
From Nigeria.
That's incredible.
Isn't it so good?
That's incredible. I'm sad.
Why?
I mean, at least, okay.
I'm sad because America lost.
I'm sad because they lost.
In basketball.
I'm sad.
I don't even care about basketball.
How much funnier, though, would it have been
Jeez.
if they had lost to, like, China? Or Hong Kong. No, it's not even not China, because we don't want to do China.
No, Pakistan.
Korea.
Pakistan.
I'm trying to think of the shortest people on the planet.
Oh.
And it would be somebody like China or North Korea or something like that. It goes, no, it is all about fundamentals. Because they don't do fundamentals in the NBA anymore. It's all about dunks and showing off and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, everything's about show. Nobody actually pushes themselves
Exactly.
to just do. Nobody takes a 3-shot 5,000 times.
Which is why.
Nobody goes and just sits there at the free throw line and just goes for hours. Nobody does that.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan wasn't that good of a player. He just put the time in.
Well, he did. And he actually missed a lot more shots he did. But when he made the dunks and did the stuff, it was, he was a team player. It was fundamentals. It was.
That's the point. Yeah, it was fundamentals. He worked himself harder than anybody else worked themselves. And that's why he was better than most people.
Yes. Unlike LeBron James or...
Who's more talent than...
I'm sorry, no.
Than effort, apparently.
No. Well, that's all it is. He got in his little talent. And we're not talking sport because I can't do that. I'm beyond...
I can't because I don't know.
Well, I don't either. But the same reason why... I mean, I used to. The same reason I don't watch the Olympics is the same reason I don't watch any sports anymore. Because the point of it all for me was an escape. And the escape is gone.
Yeah.
There is no escape anymore.
Oh, gosh.
There's always some kind of political bent to everything.
Yep.
Everything. And with no escape, there's no reason to watch it. If I can't escape anywhere, I might as well sit and entertain myself the way I would like to instead of how they want me to.
Right.
So, yay. Congratulations, Nigeria. We deserve it.
Yes.
I'm just saying.
Yes, we completely deserve to lose because our NBA was filled with people who are a bunch of whiny bees.
Little children. Spoiled, petulant children. I like that.
Who don't care what actually happens. They're just there for the money most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so because of that, you no longer have a dream team of actual NBA players.
I miss those.
Weren't they good?
I do.
But then again, remember that they were very, very, very commercialized.
Who?
The Dream Team.
Oh, no, I know they were.
So free. Like every big name was sponsoring the American Dream Team. If they had lost...
Oh, I know.
All the money they'd have lost.
Oh, I know. But I mean, but still, at least back in the day, it was still worth watching. Mm-hmm. It was worth dealing with.
Seeing people dunk on everybody else.
Yeah. And well, and not just that, but it was, they would even throw somebody like, a Muggsy Bogues or somebody in there who was like all of 5'5".
But it doesn't matter because he had skill.
He was fast. It could handle a ball. It was in and out. And it was... It was good stuff. Or Isaiah Thomas. I remember 5'9". Like those, that's the stuff when you watch it, it was fun. Yeah. And now you watch it and it's
these little guys like literally dodging and diving and ducking under legs and everything else.
Because I remember back. Now I'm having a hard time remembering all of the names. But like I remember back in the 90s and you watch somebody like the Chicago Bulls. Yeah. I was a big Bulls fan because of Michael Jordan.
Right.
I was always a big fan of Jordan. Mm-hmm. There was a stretch at one point. I could tell you the entire team, not just the starting five,
but the entire team.
Which was always Jordan, Pippen,
Bird,
Rodman. No, Bird was in the Celtics.
Was he in the Celtics? He
was in the Celtics. Yeah. It was Michael Jordan. It was Scotty. I'm telling you, Scottie Pippen, Michael Jordan, Dennis Rodman, John Paxton, and son of a motherless puss bucket. There was the number 5. I can't remember who it was, but usually that was the starting 5. And but I could go beyond that. I could tell you who was sitting on the bench. I could tell you all this stuff. I could. I couldn't anymore.
No.
But that's because people watched the game because it was fun.
Yeah.
And you got into it for that. It was that little, friendly rivalries and da-da-da-da. Now it's all political. The only people, when you hear people talk about sports, especially the NBA, they don't talk about the team anymore. It's
always the single individual.
LeBron or Durant or whoever. You know what I mean?
It's never about the team that plays. It's always about the person.
Yep. And it's sad. And that's why I don't watch it anymore.
Yeah.
That's why I don't.
It's all about individuals making a bunch of money instead of a team.
All about
winning.
the Benjamins, baby. Yep, the Wheaties box. Kathy Apolico
That's right.
Over on the Facebooks. Yes, exactly. It was the Wheaties box meant something.
It did.
And now it's
means absolutely nothing.
We watched just sidebars thinking about Wheaties. We got the kids to watch Sandlot last night.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Oh good.
And all the old stuff, the Wheaties boxes and stuff. I was
speaking of the Natsu say knee over there on the Twitters. Dang it. Now Squints is back in my head.
Yep.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Yep. It's your fault.
You're welcome. Oh yeah.
You did it to yourself. Oh, we'll do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You did it to
I wonder
yourself.
what was rolling around in my pocket.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anywho, speaking of things going completely awry.
That doesn't make sense.
And always.
Did you actually read all of this?
Yeah. But you take something you love.
You take the good, you take the bad.
And you add politics to it and you kill it. You just kill it. You destroy it.
It's what one might call I don't know. I mean, you could call it irony.
You could.
You could call it, there's irony in there.
There is irony in
Hypocrisy is another one.
Yes, hypocrisy.
There's a lot in here. Have you watched The Black Widow?
No.
Do you have any desire to watch The Black Widow?
Kind of, only for Taskmaster though.
Yeah,
So, you know Taskmaster, right?
Yeah.
For anybody out there who doesn't know,
The Marvel Universe?
Yeah, well, specifically this guy. He doesn't have any like super strength or anything like that.
No.
His ability is to be able to perfectly mimic anybody else's movements.
A little bit of study, like in a few seconds.
He can capture, if he sees it once, he can capture it and do it.
It's what is that? Like the photographic, it's an actual scientific name for it. That's most people aren't at that level, of course, but it's that very same thing. It's that photographic memory kind of thing where you.
But for reflexes.
Yeah, but it covers it for him. It's the entire gambit of his body.
Yeah.
It's the way you handle or hold or move or do.
He's an amazing character.
Yes.
Because he literally has everybody's moves. Not their strength, but everybody's moves.
He's the one guy that, like, always bad guy that you're always like, oh, you hope they go up against it because it's always going to be interesting because they're going to, good guys always win, but
at least it's going to be a good fight.
It's going to be a beat down.
It's going to be a good fight.
They're going to limp away from it, but they're going to win.
Right. Yeah. Even, it's like this guy doesn't even need superpowers. He can do everybody's moves. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So yeah. Mm-hmm.
He may not be able to shoot.
Yeah, but so no, I that's the only reason why. That's it. That's the only reason why I would watch Black Widow. I'm not really into the story. So
so you don't care about the Red Guardian being in it.
No, no, I don't. I especially don't care about the fact that the Red Guardian is like super Russian dad. That's all he is super dad, but Russian.
It is. It was actually it made it funny. Where he pops up and he's wearing the outfit and he's like, but it still fits.
It's the Russian version of Mr. Incredible, basically.
Yeah, but before he
beefed back up.
Before he got back in shape.
It's when he got flubby.
It's bod dad.
It's
every
dad bod,
superhero bod dad.
It's dad bod superhero.
It's the one that every Halloween, this Halloween, I could get away with it and actually
do it. You do it right, yeah.
I heart. Cinemail. But anyway, on July 3rd.
I already fixed it, but it doesn't show up that way. It'll kick over later.
No, but sorry, sidebar real fast. Lisa over on the Facebook.
Are you saying that
iHeart is old? Is it the show itself is old, or are you saying the title is old? We're just curious. We need to be able to know so we can fix that.
Yeah.
Anyway, July 3rd, interview with The Guardian, Black Widow star David Harbour. Remember him from Stranger Things?
Stranger Things.
I never watched that show. But
I did, actually. My oldest is a fan of that show, Stranger Things.
Yeah, I didn't watch it. I hear it's fantastic. Eventually, I might.
It's funny because his name is David Harbour.
And he was in...
Officer Harper.
Wow. Is he having a problem remembering his name?
Apparently, everybody else is.
Ah, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, he reveals that he shares some of the ideology of the Soviet superhero he plays in the film. with Black Widow.
Right.
The
right.
Red
Because they're
Guardian.
Soviets.
Yeah, Red Guardian, who
Yep.
Captain America's one-time nemesis, sports the words Karl and Marx tattooed across his knuckles and makes several disparaging remarks about the U.S. throughout the movie.
Well, yeah, he's playing a socialist Russian.
Yeah, which is, and remember, this is the guy that during the acceptance speech or whatever of the whatever Stranger Things got the award for it, whatever stupid thing that was.
Yeah.
Where they made a giant deal where he turned around and I can't remember exactly what he said, but remember he pretty much was, in your face and spouting socialism and all that great stuff.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
this role fit him.
Kind of a little bit, yeah, just a hair.
Yeah. So, quote, I don't know that there's anyone who could disagree with socialist ideology, end quote. This is what he told the outlet, The Guardian.
I mean, I can disagree with it.
You sure you could?
Yeah.
Then does that make him a liar?
That makes him an ideologue.
Oh, I was going to say, because I don't know. Well, he did. Yeah, I guess he's not a liar because he didn't say there is no one who can disagree. He said, I don't think there anyone, you don't know of anyone who could.
Well, yeah. Well, he doesn't know me, so that's fine.
That's true. Quote, if you work at Starbucks and you make the coffee, then you should own it. You're the one making the coffee, end quote.
That's not socialism.
No, that's
actually the complete opposite of socialism.
That's not, yeah. It's so, by the way, just so we're
That's
clear.
the complete opposite of socialism.
That just goes to show you how disconnected he is from everything.
This is why I hate.
I
hate beyond measure learning about the political stances of people in Hollywood.
Because they're dumb.
Not only that, but it makes it so I can't enjoy anything they do now.
I know.
From here on out, I can't enjoy anything
I couldn't enjoy
else.
anything from him and again, I can't remember offhand exactly what it was that he said at that speech whenever he took the award, but it was some big, and I'm like, I'm done.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, no,
so
we
I was
did.
okay.
Yes, you did. We talked about it. Yes, we did.
Did we?
Yep.
I didn't actually see it.
We did. Anyway,
I was blinded to it.
You're blinded by the light.
That's right.
Lucky you. The thing about this is just that statement. If you work at Starbucks and you make the coffee, then you should own it. You're the one making the coffee.
That's not socialism.
Full stop.
That's not socialism.
One, you're right. That's not socialism. Two, he is so disconnected.
Yeah.
In every way. Okay? He is convinced that the grounds, the coffee bean that is ground up, that is put into, that has water ran through it to make the drink, that's making coffee. Okay? That's not making coffee. The farmer in Guatemala or El Salvador or wherever the hell he's at, Peru, whatever.
Who harvested the coffee beans.
Not even just harvested it. The guy who owns the land, the guy who plowed the land, who tilled it, who fertilized it, who planted it, who kept it going and watered it and harvested it. That guy owns the coffee. That guy is the one who ultimately should be making a lot of the money. Now, granted that
he's not.
He individually is not, because there's a lot of subsidizing and stuff.
He's the first step.
But yeah, he didn't. Your barista with the pink hair and half shaved and like 600 tattoos and
can't get your name spelled right,
who has a bachelor's degree in art, that person did not make the coffee.
And if we're talking about,
they created a drink for you of the coffee that someone else toiled over, literally toiled over.
Right. And then Starbucks destroyed it by burning it.
They didn't burn it, they incinerated it, and they hand you the ashes. It goes,
they hand you ash and then put water through it.
Yes.
And say, this is your coffee, drink it and pay me $10.
Yes, but the reason you don't taste it is because they put a bag and a half or pound and a half of sugar and whipped cream.
Yeah, whipped cream and sugar and milk, and
it's the nastiest tasting.
It's the worst
coffee
crap out there. Having
said that, Harbour then admitted that the application of political theory in the real world has led to some of history's greatest atrocities. I'm going to pause there for a moment.
Yeah.
So you sat there in the beginning and said, hey, I don't know of anyone who would disagree with socialism. And then followed up with, but socialism has led to some of history's greatest atrocities.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
Once again, on paper, this looks amazing.
Well, and it does.
No, I think that's where he's going with this.
That's what I'm saying.
He's like,
I get
on
that.
paper,
For him, it makes perfect sense.
This looks amazing on paper. It's just who has put it into place physically has screwed it up. It's the same argument every political crackhead actually says when they're talking about socialism.
The key to socialism, the one thing that makes socialism not work, honestly and truthfully, is the one thing that nobody can really control except for the individual, and that is the human heart. The human heart is the only thing that can change anything. If humanity was a perfect being, then socialism would work.
No, we wouldn't need it.
Well, that's true too.
If humanity was perfect, which is the only way that socialism would work, you wouldn't need it.
No, and I would give you that, but
you wouldn't need a governance or a governing body at all.
I would argue we don't now, but whatever.
Well, we need some laws.
No, I didn't say we did. Hold on. I didn't say anarchy and we didn't need laws. I said that we don't need it. Like, there's a lot of understanding. We're not going into that today.
Not yet.
But my point is like socialism and on the whole, that's the key. That's the key that actually ruins it every time.
Yeah, the socialism.
Is the human heart.
Yeah.
The fact that humanity is flawed. Humans are fallen, sinful, selfish, greedy, hypocritical, lying,
undesirable trash
creatures. Yes.
We really are.
And because of the fact that it's the reason why monarchies have never been the greatest. Yes, you may get a great king into place. Mm-hmm. And he will be benevolent and do this great stuff but
what about the next one?
People. But yeah, what about the next guy? And usually, and you could go to the Bible as a perfect example. Once they got a king, how'd they start out with? Was their first king a great king? Was he a good guy?
Well, if we're talking when they started out with no kings.
No, but I'm saying when they started out with kings, they got Saul.
Yeah.
Saul
was kind of okay.
He was okay.
For a while.
And then he went to crap.
Yeah, and then he went crazy.
Then they got David, who arguably he as an individual had flaws.
Yeah.
But the country
worked out really great.
Benefited immensely.
Right.
What came after David?
His sons.
Yeah, and how good did that run?
Well, one was really, really smart.
Yeah, and that one was okay. And then what happened after that?
Well, so the really, really smart one decided that he fell after lust.
Yeah,
and after he fell into lust with like 7,000 women, it didn't do well.
It didn't end well.
It didn't end well.
My point is,
and then his sons broke the country in half.
Yeah, what usually happens is going even back to there and all through time is you'll have something good, and once everything starts going good, you
lose sight.
People, start losing. They start taking everything for granted.
Yep.
They start having those moments like now, and America's in that point where we have so much freedom, so many good things that we look around and start looking for something to be mad about, something to be upset about, something to change.
We start looking for trouble.
Humanity could not handle the utopia that they keep trying to tout even if there was a way to make it all work.
The reason why you always see every movie that you see is a human dystopia.
Yep.
It's dystopia.
Yep.
Why? Because we tried for utopia and then we're
failed.
fallen and we fell.
Yeah.
And because greed, corruption, other things, we just backbiting is one of the problems. People we cannot as a people, as an animal, we cannot get over the fallen nature of our hearts.
Yeah. And the thing is it makes perfect sense. I don't know why
striving for perfection is great.
Yes, you're never going to attain it on this side of eternity.
Exactly.
It's not going to happen.
Striving for perfection is a wonderful ideal, but understand that even while you're striving for perfection, most of the people around you aren't.
Yeah. And that's sadly the problem. Why was World War II, that generation, considered the greatest generation of all time? Or at least in American history. Because of the fact that of what they all had to go through. You had the Great Depression, you had World War I, World War II. All of that it forged them. They had to deal with other crap. They didn't have time to literally look at this piddly, stupid stuff and find reasons to be upset.
There was nothing else to be upset about other than, let's go get those bad guys.
There's so much more that this douchebag just keeps saying, but we're not going to go into that one right now.
Yeah, we're done.
Slightly Venomous Kirk, though, over on Twitter says, it has Scarlett Johansson. I'd watch her just mow a lawn.
Well, that would be a lot less traumatic for me, too, so.
Well, the question is it a push mower or is it a rider?
Ryder. Darnell killed her.
I thought, you're welcome. And is she going to like weed eat and do the hedges too? Because
that's key.
part of lawn mowing.
That's part of the lawn.
If you're not going to do all of it, don't do any of it.
Don't start it if you can't finish.
Right.
Gotta trim those hedges. Weed eat around the edge.
You do some, at least a little bit, like a tree or some other part of the house or something. Like you got to keep that stuff down.
Right.
Even if you don't do every single thing and all this, you like try.
Look. You got to keep those bushes trimmed.
You can't let them get out of control.
That's right. Nobody wants an out of control bush.
Because that junk gets gnarly.
Right. It makes it very difficult. Snakes and crap get in there. It's not good.
Yep. All kinds of vermin you don't want to be in there.
Exactly. You get all tangled up in it.
Ew. Ew. No. Gross.
Gross.
That's not right.
Well, I mean, you're the one that started it.
Are you kidding me?
Nope.
Oh my God.
That's all right. Well, I got friends in low places where the whiskey runs and chases my blues away. And I will be okay. All right. We'll be coming back in a second.
This is Defenders Live.
It's working. Stop it.
What?
It's working.
What? We're fine.
I know
we're
are.
good.
We are. CNN isn't.
CNN definitely is.
I saw a thing. Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. Did
Okay.
I post it
Did
too?
you post it?
I don't know. But
I don't know what you were
do
doing.
have a picture, and I don't know if I posted it yet or not. However, it will go up soon. There is I saw a meme, and I'm going to post it later. Scientific fact: a dog gets more factual information from sniffing another dog's butt than a human does watching CNN.
Well, that's factually true.
That is factually true.
That is fact. That's
Boom.
a fact.
Just
Boom.
saying.
Nice to say knee over there on the Twitters. So I paused that DOA show on YouTube to have a conversation. I joined back during the commercial break conversation to hear this. No one likes an out of control bush. Hashtag facts. Facts.
It's all it's what
Facts.
we're all about here. Is
CNN facts.
It is. We're about learning.
That's
What
right.
we're here for.
Speaking of CNN and facts, medical analysts are trying to try a hardline approach to COVID-19 vaccinations. Very hard line.
I don't like that word.
Hardline approach.
No.
Very hard.
No. I don't like that.
The Cable News contributors are calling for mandatory coronavirus vaccinations and say that life, quote, needs to be hard for Americans who don't get the COVID-19 vaccine.
One, I'm not comfortable with the amount of the usage of the word hard in this. I'm not.
Yeah.
Not even a little bit.
Not even close, right?
I'm not comfortable.
Just
and
a smidge.
Just so we're clear. On the other side of that, though, what do you mean needs to be hard?
Needs to be hard.
For people who don't get the COVID.
Yeah, it has to be hard for people who don't get COVID.
Don't get COVID.
Yeah.
The vaccine.
Yeah, the vaccine.
The alleged vaccine.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
That guy.
But why? Nobody's ever made a big deal about people who don't get the flu shot. People don't ever make a big deal about people walking around with no mask and having pneumonia.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Nobody ever makes a big deal about people walking around with hepatitis C or AIDS or any other type of disease or virus or
Anything else.
anything.
Right,
No
yeah.
one does any of this. Just this.
Yeah.
And the fact of the matter is that it has gone away as it finally should have. Thank God, hallelujah.
Yeah, but
starting to anyway. And
but it came back.
They keep trying to hold on to it.
They keep on bringing it back.
They do, and
It's
I don't know why. Why are you pushing this alleged vaccine so much? The more and the harder they push it, and the more that everything is proven that you just kind of let it go, you don't control it. It's not really. It's what's in it?
It's like Ernest goes to Camp 15.
Ernest goes to school.
Whatever it is.
It was good.
Ernest goes to whatever.
It's like, Ernest, how many different jobs do you have, sir? He does so many different things in that. Man,
he does everything.
Ernest T. Bass lived a life.
He did indeed.
He lived a life.
Yeah,
he
but
did
without COVID.
everything. Watched that the other day. Him going to school and in the Army.
Ernest gets a COVID vaccine. That's the next one.
The follow-up sequel to that is Ernest's funeral.
Right.
He goes to a funeral. That's
all it is, because he died of COVID.
He did. Well, no,
Quote,
he died from the vaccine.
Yeah, COVID.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
I see what you did there.
Yeah. Quote, what we really need to do at this point, I had to add a "we" in there because it wasn't there.
Okay.
It wasn't there.
I know.
Is to make vaccinations the easy choice. It needs to be hard for people to remain unvaccinated. This from Leanna Wynn.
Okay.
She said during a Saturday appearance on CNN, quote, right now, it's kind of the opposite. It's easy if you're unvaccinated. You can do everything you want to do anyway.
Well, one, pumpkin, that's called freedom.
Right.
That's called freedom of choice. That's the ability to that exactly. That's America. Here's my other thing. So you don't again for mumps, measles, rubella, all of those.
Well, no. We get vaccinations for those when we're very early in the age.
Yeah. But they don't force it like this.
Yeah. Then.
Well, not really. What do you
want to go to school?
Okay, but name anything else. Be honest. Outside of the ability to go to a public school.
Actually, to travel out of the United States as well.
And how many people do that now, especially with inflation in the world the way it is?
Well, not right now, but
I'm saying, do you really need? Would it be cool to travel outside the world? Yes. None of the rest of the world likes us, by the way. Not even a little bit.
Well,
no.
Some people.
No.
Some people, not like countries, but some people.
Yeah, but those people are probably here.
or trying
to be here. My point is most of the world hates us for one variant reason or another. So you don't need
mainly because we're pointing out their flaws by being alive.
Yeah, but I'm talking about actually just living life.
Yeah.
Traveling is kind of, you might get to do it, might not. I mean, some people get to make it out of the country and some of them don't.
Right.
So we're going to keep it just in the realm of
normal
living life. Aside from trying and attempting to go to a public school, there is nothing you need to be vaccinated for. There's no other requirement. So why are you trying to make this one so difficult? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, this is what bothers me. There's something in this. I don't know what it is. And I've seen, and I don't believe them necessarily. Right. I don't believe them. But like, I've seen things on like TikTok and on Facebook videos and stuff, and where people will come by and be like, "Look here, test my arm," and it'll be a thing. It'll be like some kind of a chip reader, and she'll show her arm and be like, "Oh, there's nothing there," and then pro the other arm where she got the shot and allegedly got the shot, and it would turn around and
beep,
throw.
Beep.
It would make a sound or throw up a code or something.
Right.
And I'm like,
I didn't see you get the shot.
And I'm sorry, but you're also not lifting your sleeve.
So it could be anything there.
So it could be anything.
You could have put something right here.
Yeah, I'm not gonna turn around and fully bite on it. However, you don't push something so hard. And literally, like this lady trying to mandate it.
And not just that. Hold on. It hasn't even been approved by the people that need to approve it to push it.
Yeah.
The federal government has not approved this as a legal, viable, or reasonable vaccine.
Because they couldn't anyway.
They couldn't do it in the amount of time.
Well, it's not just the time. Like, look at how many people have had complications from the
Johnson & Johnson now.
Yes.
Johnson & Johnson came out. It says it's a small sample, but I'm sorry.
It's enough that
enough people are getting a mental disorder from taking your shot?
What would you rather do? Live the rest of your life with a mental disorder or risk And it is always a risk. Every virus is a risk.
Right.
Would you rather have a mental disorder or risk getting sick with COVID and maybe dying? I couldn't live. I honestly could not.
It's causing a mental disorder, which leads to muscle fatigue and possibly death.
It doesn't make sense to me. Why are they pushing this so hard? Just this. Again, there are myriads of other things out there that you would argue is probably more severe. They don't, but they're not pushing that near as hard. They're not trying. It bothers me to my core that they want to do this stuff and then act like, oh, well, we got to make it hard on people. Why? What is it hurting you? Unless you're getting something from it, unless something is being done.
Right.
This whole series right now, like I said, the FDA could not, even with the data they're getting from this live action guinea pig thing that they're doing right now.
Yeah, you're right.
They would never be able to prove it. They can't.
Yeah.
The stats are wrong. They're not good enough by any stretch of the imagination. And again, it's okay. Look. Everybody on this planet has an expiration date. I don't know if anyone knows this or not. This might come as a shock to you, and I apologize for not warning you to sit down first. Thank you. Everyone has an expiration date. We all have a time, a place, and a method to whence we are vacating this fleshly body and transferring and going through the door to the other side, right. Whatever that is. Okay? It's a fact of life. It is what it is. I've heard stories about guys, there's people, and you hear about it too. I've never smoked my entire life and he, died of lung cancer.
Mm-hmm.
Guy's worked out his entire life and is eating vegetables and perfectly healthy and blah, 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 and was hit by a carrot truck. They're all there. The jokes are there. The stuff is there. It's all there. It's how it goes. People fall in tubs and break their neck all the time. You don't see them forcing, handles or certain types of showers that keep you locked.
Right.
It just doesn't make sense.
And it's almost like the one thing that they want to do is they want to make sure societally, as a whole, that everyone gets it no matter what.
Yeah. They want and that's the part that is what bothers me is the why. Why do you want it so badly? It clearly doesn't help everything. It doesn't keep you from getting it.
Right.
You run the risk of not only catching something worse, but possibly dying from it. Yeah. So, there's no real benefit to it. There's no real upsides to it. Why is what bothers me.
There's no upside to it we'll do an if.
Okay.
We'll do an if. If you are under the age of 50, there's absolutely no upside to this.
Even
to the vaccine, there's no upside.
Even at 50, though, with the risks that you could get from the vaccine, I'd still take my chances. Yeah, that's just my humble opinion.
Under the age of 50, because it says 55 and up or whatever. So under the age of 55, we'll say that way. Under the age of 55, there's no upside.
Yeah, you actually might be putting yourself more at risk.
The people that get more of the side effects are actually the younger people,
and a lot hinges on that older crowd. Depends on their state of life.
Right.
Are these 55 and older? Is that person healthy or not? Right. How healthy are they? Because you could put it right now. If I'm 55, which I'm not yet.
Right. Yeah. Well,
I'm not far.
Old man.
Yeah. And currently I'm a smoker. Currently.
Yeah.
I'm working on the quitting, but currently I'm a smoker.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Stressful.
Mm-hmm. So
it's been a year.
I would be, once I hit the 55 mark, if I was 55 now, I would be in that high risk area. I would be the recommendation for me to have it because of my lung system, because my respiratory set, all of that,
right.
Age, all that crap is there.
Yeah.
I still wouldn't take it in that moment because my brain goes,
nope.
Yeah. Okay, nope. I'm already running the risk of dying from emphysema or from all of these other things. I already got that one's kind of, there's these possibilities. Mm-hmm. And now you want me to take a shot.
Right.
for something that, let's be honest, equates to a very strong cold or a minor flu, however you want to look at it. But the vaccine for this, the alleged vaccine, gives you the possibility of mental issues, of blood clotting, of all of these other new things that wouldn't be in my peripheral if I didn't take it.
Allegedly.
I would like to kind of go the way I want to go.
Yeah.
I shouldn't be forced into stuff. It shouldn't be
Well, it's funny that you say that. Speaking of being forced into stuff.
Okay.
So there's a...
Oh, before you go there.
Yeah.
Slightly Venomous Kirk over on Twitter. Pushing it real hard is bad. You have to push it real good. Or push it good. Push it real good.
Boom. Ba-na, ba, 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 da, 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 da. Anyway.
Hydro Flask Slug also on Twitter. So does that mean that people who get the COVID-19 longer have to deal with morning wood?
No.
You don't want to? Okay, I was going to say, you want to?
No.
You're not going to handle that?
Nope.
Not even going to touch it, huh?
Mm-mm.
You don't want to touch the morning wood?
Not with a pole. Not with a 29.5-foot pole.
That's
I know. Nope.
nasty.
Not going to happen. Anyway,
Keep moving.
Yeah. Speaking of forcing everybody to do everything you want. So there's this thing going around, and I thought it was a laugh until I realized it was real. It's a hashtag that people have been posting recently on the Twitters and the TikToks and all the rest of it.
Okay.
And it's a hashtag Jehovah's Witnesses. Jehovah's Witnesses.
COVID witnesses.
Jehovah's Witnesses. Hashtag Jehovah's Witnesses. I got a kick out of that. And just like you are now, yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Until I watched it. And then I realized.
This is disturbing.
No, they're going door to door in a couple of states right now, currently. North Carolina is one of them.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
It's 3 states. It's North Carolina, California, and I forget the other one. I think it's Wyoming. But anyway, it's North Carolina and California are 2 of the 3 states. 3
Okay.
that are currently doing this. They have a list, and yes, they're checking it twice. They're coming to your house, knocking on your doors, and trying to figure out why you don't have a COVID shot. Why didn't you get the vaccine?
I hope they come.
Is there a way that we can help you get the vaccine?
I really hope they come to my door.
Oh, other things. If you are obscene to them,
okay,
or if you are rude to them, or if you berate them in any way, they write down your name and give a little like checkbox, whatever. So that other things can happen to you later on. We don't know what those other things are yet, but other things, they write it down. They make sure to take notes on what actually happened.
So they have 2 lists. And
they have 2 lists. They're all twice, so that's 4 times the checking.
Good for them. Please tell me they roll around on bicycles and have to wear the white button.
I really don't know that much. I don't know.
That would be great.
But they are going door to door, and they're only doing certain doors. They're not going to each and every door because they already know who's gotten the vaccine. And they know their address.
Isn't that convenient?
So they're only going to the houses that haven't been vaccinated.
I hope they come to my door.
Like if...
I do.
Come on, knock on my door. I've been waiting for you. I'm just saying, they're going door to door and they're knocking and verifying whether or not you've gotten your COVID vaccine recently and not on file or whatnot. And if you haven't, they're going to ask you questions about why.
Because I don't want to. Because I don't have to. Because this is American.
Because F you.
I was going to say, that was my next one, is go fornicate with yourself.
Bye-bye. Have a good life.
Are we done with the questions? You get about a half a second to get off my property before I start shooting you.
And they're doing things like they have a how-to guide that they keep.
Wait, how to what?
How to witness. How to Jehovah's Witness. Like things like if you come to a house and the house has a no soliciting sign.
Okay.
You don't have to worry.
Because you're not soliciting.
You're not soliciting. You're offering information.
Isn't that what soliciting is? I'm curious.
You're giving out information.
No.
You are making sure that they are well informed. So you are not soliciting.
No,
You are not a solicitor. So do not be afraid. For there is no legal ramification. You are not doing anything legal or illegal.
How's so I can spell?
Okay. Solicitation.
There. Okay.
There.
Spelling's a little weird.
Solicitation. The non-sexual one.
Yeah. Solicitation, according to this, from Century Dictionary. I don't know if I want to go with that one.
That's
but anyway,
a good one.
Let's see. Webster. Here's Webster's. The practice or act or an instance of soliciting. That doesn't make sense. Moving or drawing force. There's got to be more to it than that. It can't just be. And so what are you seeing? Because I thought to solicit was the act of, like, it doesn't necessarily mean to try and sell something. It means to show up to your door and offer something that it's not been asked for. That's what I thought it meant. You know what I mean?
To solicit is to make a petition, to entreat, to approach with a request or a plea, to urge strongly.
That's where we went. We went to solicit, not solicitation. Solicit. There you go.
To urge strongly, to entice or lure, especially into evil.
Uh-huh.
To proposition someone, especially as or in the character of a prostitute. To try to obtain by usually urgent request or pleas.
See, so I was right. It basically is you show up unwanted. Offering something, asking for something.
In essence, what you're doing going door to door like this
it's
is
still
soliciting. Yes, it is still soliciting.
That's fantastic. I mean, I don't have that whole, no solicitation thing anyway, but I don't. You show up to my door, and I'm not going to be a douche necessarily about it, but I'm going to tell you the truth. I don't have to. I'm an American. I can do whatever the hell I want to, and that's that. You're never going to make me do it. You're never going to convince me to do it. You think you can make my life hard. Let me tell you something. I've been married multiple times. I'm not worried about it. There's not much else you can do to me.
Right.
So I'm not worried. It drives me nuts there. So please tell me, I would love to see him roll up on a bicycle.
That'd be awesome.
At least the bicycle, if not the white shirt too.
It really would be awesome.
They're not going, but I don't think they're going to come to my, I mean, they might. I kind of live out in the middle of nowhere. They might not come to me because they might be worried or something crazy. You know what I mean?
Well, that could be. Yeah.
I don't know.
So. You don't know. Never know.
And now for something completely different.
A man in Kuala Lumpur in
hashtag
India
nailed it. Hashtag like a native.
has been convicted and sentenced to die
Oh, no.
for murdering his mother before frying her organs in order to consume them.
I'm wondering something. I have a question.
Uh-huh.
Did he actually get to eat them?
It's a good question. Let's try to move along here and figure it out. 35-year-old man received a sentence last week and now waits to see if the Bombay High Court will confirm his execution. According to court documents, in August of 2017, a young girl alerted neighbors after finding the man with bloodstained hands standing near a disemboweled body of a 63-year-old woman.
Wow.
His mother.
That's sad.
When the police arrived on the scene, they reportedly discovered the naked dead body of the mother lying in a pool of her own blood.
Well, that's usually what would be there.
With the liver, intestines, heart, ribs, and chest completely removed.
Wow.
Officers then
Allegedly.
followed the blood trail to the kitchen where they found her heart on a platter along with a piece of her rib soaking in oil in an oil bottle next to a chili powder and spices.
Well, at least he was making and putting flavor to it. It wasn't just like one of those. It wasn't like because I don't think like
he seems like a connoisseur. He had chili powder.
Well, he did.
And spices,
he was doing spices,
and he was doing oil rub.
Yeah. It wasn't like cause I'm not that privy on the in depthness of it, but I think Dahmer just kind of bowled it and ate it. You know what I mean? Like I don't think his was as culinarily
apt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this shows a bit of refinery. I mean,
A little bit, just in the area.
I mean, the murdering of
that's
your own
not very
mother
good.
and
No,
the
that's
cannibalism is a
terrible.
little
No,
bad.
that's bad.
But
Yeah. We
I
shouldn't do
have
that.
to at least give him credit for not
least-
just half-assing it. He's
had
like,
some spice.
We're gonna make that. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this right.
Right, season it up a little bit. You
Yeah.
got to spice up your life. Multiple knives covered in blood were discovered at the scene, where later confirmed to have been used during the crime.
Well, it does take various different knives in order to do different things.
Or one really good knife.
Well, I mean, some of them to get through bone, some to get through tendons, some for sharp, some for
Some for skinning. Some
Yeah.
for
Filleting. Yeah, exactly. You have to.
I know, I get it.
There's an array.
There's an array, and there are reasons for each one.
Yep.
After the incident, quote, after the incident, the accused intended to eat the heart and rib of his own mother.
He wanted to absorb her power.
Right. He had no remorse even after committing the murder.
Well, clearly, to commit murder is enough. Then to commit murder of your own mother is even further.
And then to take her heart and rib and start to cook it.
Yeah, to go through to not just disembowel her, but to dissect her basically, and then in plan to eat it. Yeah, that goes
A bit far.
I don't expect there to be any remorse. I don't expect there to a moment for him to go, well, son of a bitch.
I can't believe I did that.
I don't know what come over me.
Yeah, yes, you do.
I just don't. I don't get. I don't think there's anything like that.
I don't think anything came over you. I think it was just you were done. You were done. You were tired.
Yeah. I want to play my video games, Mom. Leave me alone.
First off, 35-year-old man, 63-year-old mother. This is what happens when you live at home until the age of 35.
Like we said last week, you got to push them out of the nest.
Mothers, don't let them stay.
Mothers, don't let your babies grow up to be cannibals.
That's wrong on so many levels.
I know, but it fits.
I know
That's all
it does.
that matters.
I was in the same vein. That's the problem. Like my head went straight to that song too, and I was like, "No, I'm not gonna play this one off."
I was trying to.
You got there first. That's all I'm saying.
You're welcome.
Yep.
That's what I'm here for.
Yep.
That sucks. But
yeah, that's
you know
not-
what?
that's not it.
At least, again, the best part is like they go, there's no remorse. Shocker. Yeah. I don't know if you expected any, but
Right. Yeah.
again, when you're going through that much trouble, I think remorse is kind of packed its bag and gone to the next city.
Yeah. Prosecutors in the case argued that the incident should fall under the category of the rarest of rare crime. A classification within the Indian legal system that allows death penalty to be administered.
Oh, that's the rarest of rare?
The rarest of rare.
Death penalty?
Yes.
Okay.
It's the rarest of rare. I don't know. We don't know their legal system. So
That's true.
Fine. It's fine. Quote, we had sought the death sentence.
Okay.
That came from the public prosecutor.
Okay.
Who told reporters, quote, there are precedents in the rarest of rare cases when death by hanging is given. He murdered his own mother and desecrated the body in a way no one would have imagined.
Well, I mean, you're right. They wouldn't have imagined it. But can you say he actually desecrated it?
Yeah.
Why? He was cutting it up to eat it.
Yeah.
So
still part.
no, I'm saying just for
Yeah.
clarity's sake. So that means when somebody butchers a cow or a pig or whatever, then they're desecrating
It
that
depends
body?
on how you butcher it.
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
He was not well trained.
well, obviously not, but that could just be a lack of ignorance. That doesn't make him desecrating. Like desecrating again, and again, maybe this
He
is where
also
we have to
didn't-
look up the word.
He also
but-
didn't pray over it.
No, obviously not. My brain, though, says desecration is like an intentional trying to, ruin things. Desecrate is like a bad thing. It sounded like he was a failed, albeit, attempt at, proper butchering and stuff.
I mean, yeah, that is
just because
part
he
of it.
failed doesn't mean it's desecration. Of course, yeah, okay. See? Okay, desecrate.
To treat disrespectfully,
Irreverently
irreverently, or outrageously.
So it's a gray.
outrageous.
It's a
It's
gray
profane.
area. Okay, it's in that gray
Yeah,
area.
yeah.
It would fit.
It's in that area. It's a grade of that.
Words are important, and that's all that matters. Hydro Flask Slug over on Twitter. If they make it to my door, referring to the Jacobin witnesses, I might bring back shoot, shovel, and shut up. Don't forget, I need to remind y'all that at least in North Carolina, we do not have to report someone being killed on our property. However, we do have to call 811
to make sure that we don't hit any power, water lines.
Yeah, so when we dig, we have to call for that, but we do not have to call for anybody dead on our property.
I need you to read that one right there.
Which one right here?
That one right there, yeah.
Big Pharma Steve over on Twitter at Dylan Lyles. I think Dahmer bowled the victims. If he ate it out of a bowl, no one knows. Shut up. I hate you. B from the SAV, maybe play crazy. That'll scare most of the riffraff.
Right.
Big Pharma Steve also on Twitter at Dylan Lyles and at Stephen Airy have been mentally preparing for the day someone unwanted comes to their doors. They taught us, and then it's
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal.
Home Alone. Exactly.
Don't forget, go to AmericanPrideRoasters.com.
Go to AmericanPrideRoasters.com.
That's where you get the best coffee. Also historically great.
Yep.
Also guaranteed to make you swallow every time you put it in your mouth.
Every single time you put it in your mouth. Go to our website, doaeshow.com.
That's doaeshow.com.
Yep, check out the other awesome hosts and shows over there. We've got a new thing up there if you have like a Dear Abby, as it were.
Yeah.
So,
Dear Defenders.
we'll explain it more on the other side. Go to mojo50.com and everything else. We got a whole nother hour. Don't go nowhere. We'll be right back.
What?
Yes.
What? What?
Monty Python. Are you suggesting we eat my mum? Not raw, of course. Carrots and a bit of broccoli. It's not desecration.
It's not desecration if it's culinary.
If it's culinary. Exactly. Thank you.
Thanks.
That was the thought I had too.
Exactly.
If he was just, haphazardly throwing it into a pot and whatever, and
That's what it looked like.
or eating it raw, that's different. To me, yes, desecration.
That's what it seemed.
But the fact that he's going through the trouble of marinating it and putting a dry rub and
seasoning it with
the
oil and the spices.
going through all of that stuff. The fact that he's going that far on all of that.
That's culinary.
That's culinary, my friend. And
Not very good culinary.
No. And I still think he's,
He probably didn't treat the heart with respect.
No, probably not. He's obviously a few bulbs short of a bright lampshade, but I mean, you can't. At least he tried.
Right.
That's just me trying to find the silver lining. Trying to find that silver lining.
Just that little tiny spot. A little tiny spot.
As it makes us all happy.
That's right. No, sorry. What is this? Okay. Woo.
What is what?
I don't know. I'm looking at everything.
I don't know what you're talking about. Oh,
sorry, Paige. We didn't mean to freak you out.
that's what we do.
But, I mean, with everything that was going on, it kind of is a freaky thing. You know what I mean?
Just a tad. I keep putting it up there. I don't know if I'm going to do it again or not.
Do what again?
The intern post.
Oh, nah. Don't worry about it for the moment.
We need-
go ahead and do it
we
if you want to
need
do
it,
it. We
but-
need an intern. So.
Well, I'll worry about it in a minute. Yep. So you remember that band, Punk Rock Factory?
Yeah.
They have a new album out.
Do they?
It's fantastic
That's awesome.
because they did Let It Go.
Yeah, they do. They were doing a bunch of Disney songs. And
That's
stuff
what
like
most
that,
of this album is,
It's Disney
actually.
songs, but punk rock.
It's
Punk rock Disney.
Let me see if I can. Oh wait,
No.
no. I'm not going to play it, but I want to show you the list. There it is. Oh, not that one. It was this album. So look.
How far I go, I'll go. A Whole New World, Beauty and the Beast.
Can You Feel the Love Tonight by Elton John?
Yes.
Done to punk.
Do you want to build a snowman?
That's a good one too.
What can I say except
You're welcome.
just can't wait to be king? Yeah, I heard that one before. I'll make a man out
They
of you.
did DuckTales.
Ooh.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
That's the best.
Done to punk.
Life is a highway.
And hold on. I hate that song. I skip over that one every single time. But they actually have snippets of Mary Poppins in there.
Yes.
Up to tempo. Bruh. It is fantastic.
Awesome.
It makes me giggle every single time.
He's very good. These guys are great at what they do. Punk Rock Factory, if you guys haven't heard of them.
It's funny.
It's good stuff. It's dad comedy mixed in with punk rock.
Yes.
It's really good. They got good stuff.
I
Dad
don't want to
songs.
know if or how you pound mom meat to tenderize it. Oh, no. That, my friend, is a delicate process.
That is a delicacy, sir.
It's a family secret. We don't tell that one.
Bush's baked beans. Oh. son.
Ew.
All right, we got to put that on the episode. We'll be replaying that entire scene you just heard.
No, we're moving on.
No, we got to say
We're moving on. I'm done.
All right.
I'll never back down. I'll never back down. I'll never back down. I get up when I'm bleeding, ready, breathing. I'll never back down.
This is the collision of common sense and comedy. This is Defenders Live.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know. It could be pretty hard to swallow. That's all.
That's right. All I'm saying is if you guys and okay.
All right.
We've prefaced this before. We
Yeah.
are a radio show. So
We are.
if you're listening to us, we greatly appreciate it.
Oh,
However,
yeah.
we do offer the video side of things on YouTube and Facebook, etc.
Sure.
To kind of help spread things around and just as kind of an extra thing. If you watch us, which I would actually recommend doing both,
Yeah, a little bit of both.
have the video playing on mute
Yeah, and then just listen.
and listen.
And then when the commercial break hits,
because commercial breaks
mute and flip.
on the radio side, there's pre-programmed commercials and there's things like that, and we don't have control over none of that. However,
Right.
on the video, you don't get that on there. There's silence. And so it's whatever we come up with, which usually is we go through a tweet or whatever, and we comment further. And all I'm saying is
You missed one
at least go back,
tonight.
if you get a chance, to go back
back
and check the
tonight.
video. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
It might
missed some
be-
stuff.
It might be,
If for no other reason. Continue listening, and we appreciate it, and God bless you.
just around the hour mark.
But you get bored.
Yeah.
On any show, for that matter.
Yeah.
Always go back to the video and just check out the break.
The in-betweens.
The in-betweens, the breaks of it. Just go to each of the breaks and just, hidden
you won't
gems.
You won't be disappointed most of the time.
Hopefully.
Most
you
of the
won't
time.
be.
Some of the times you will. Most of the time you won't.
You might not.
Yeah.
So,
well, okay,
we
before
want
we
to
get
go
there.
local.
Yeah, but
I don't
before
wanna
we
do
get there.
that one.
Okay, before we get there though. Before we get to these.
Okay.
We do need to reiterate what,
Oh,
what
that's
you
right.
finished.
The video. I mean, not the video. The on the
website.
Website.
So the other day,
It's Friday.
it's the other day.
That was the other day.
Well, if
All days past or
speaking
other
of,
days. but-
so no, my second to youngest, she still does that. She's like, "Can we do that the other day?" I think, "What do you mean the other day?"
The one not today.
The other day. Which day? The other day. Which day is the other day?
the one not today, dummy.
The other day.
And you can't blame her. She's absolutely right.
She is. She just doesn't know how to say more specifically, and it's hilarious.
I love it.
I love messing with her.
That's great.
Anyway,
the other day.
the other day, which was Friday, we had a story, and it was a Dear Abby.
It was a Dear Abby.
It was a Dear Abby.
Basically. But it was for Slate.
It was,
And it was wrong.
yeah,
Shouldn't have ever be a question.
should
but I
never have
digress.
happened. And I had a little idea,
You did.
and I decided to work and actually run that idea.
Did. He did.
So if you go to our website,
That's doaeshow.com.
doaeshow.com, and you go under the contacts section, you don't press it, you go highlight it and let it
Yeah, let
hold
the
it
drop
over.
down come
Drop down menu come out. And you'll see on the drop down menu a little thing that says Dear Defenders.
We might want to find a way to attach that to the. Is there? a way
I
to
can just put it up on the front.
Might do that too.
I'm probably just going to put it up on the front eventually.
Yeah.
Put it in the actual, just like.
But
the
for
straight
now,
menu
it's
bar.
in the contacts.
Yeah, it's in the contacts. I mean, I can change that anytime. But yeah, right now it's in the contacts, but it may change to the front of the screen soon. It's Dear Defenders.
And it literally is set up and designed.
It's you put your name in there. If you don't want your name, put a handle or an anonymous.
Yeah, that's
You
the
know?
joy of it. You don't have to put. And
It doesn't have to be your real name.
it could be any problem or anything.
Yep.
If Slate can do it, so can we.
Right.
So
you put your name and an email just in case we want to ask further questions.
oh no. We
It's
might-
there. You don't have to.
I mean, you can, but like we're not gonna. Just for me, there's
Yeah.
no point in asking. The joy of a Dear Abby is they don't get the extra chance to
Right,
ask questions.
right.
They take whatever is written there and they
and there's a
advise
box.
from that point.
Right. There is a box, and I have removed the limiter
Yep. So you can type as long as you want to.
You can type as much as you want.
Now, bear in mind,
We have to read it on air if we're gonna read it. So
that's the other.
Bear that in mind. If it's a diatribe, I'm not gonna read it on air.
Yeah.
And I'm probably not gonna read it.
Yeah. So,
But keep it relatively short.
I mean, it doesn't have to be short, but
I mean, like 5 minutes.
I don't need to. Yeah, we don't
a
need
5 minute read max here. Okay.
Yeah, I say we don't need a 5 generational back history. We just,
5 minute max.
Same as Dear Abby. And what we'll do is
we'll read it on air.
We'll get enough of those in. We'll read them on air. We'll make like
we'll
little
put them
snippet videos on TikToks
yeah.
or something. We'll do something.
Slide
and
them in.
start and we'll answer them and do it in Dear Abby form.
Yeah, either on air here or like on our TikToks or in other places. We're going to answer them.
And just so we're clear, like we do kind of I mean, this idea come as a tongue-in-cheek kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay?
But still.
But for all honesty, we will answer.
If you want real advice,
yeah, that's what
we're going to give it to you.
I was going to say. We're going to give you real advice. Now, if it's a stupid thing, like
we're going to give
like
you
this
stupid
lady,
advice.
we're going to tell you what's right on it, and then we're going to
joke on you
all
day long
in the response and on air.
But that's because we're jackholes.
But the upside to it is you don't, I mean, you're under a different handle, so you're a different thing or whatever.
It doesn't have
so
to be your real name.
know you.
All right? It doesn't have to be your real name.
But yeah, so go over there, doaeshow.com. Hover over the cover of the contact section.
Yep, it's
drop down.
Dear Defenders.
Dear Defenders. If you got anything, throw it, share it around. You send people there just for the giggles of it.
Yeah.
I'm going to find a way to put that section right on, start putting it on social medias and spreading that around because
the more you fill it out, the more we have, and the easier it is for us to use that as segments on the show.
Yeah, or at least extra side stuff,
which is real fun.
Yeah.
Y'all.
Because,
and then
we got ideas with it.
We'll take those and we'll play it on the video here.
Yeah. We'll figure it out or somewhere.
Yeah.
It'll be done somewhere
It'll be done.
on the,
Somewhere.
something.
Anyway, so going local.
Going local.
You wanted to go local.
I do. Do you need set up for this video?
Well, I mean, I can.
There, but that's what I'm saying. Do you do that while I set this up?
Okay.
So
yeah,
today I was flipping through Facebook as
you were today years old.
I was today years old.
Okay.
And by the way, ever since I saw it first pop up, it is every freaking where.
Oh yeah, dude. Whoa.
Gotta love the socials and the way they track everything for you.
I know, right? You saw it once and then now it's everywhere.
So, and I didn't pay attention to the organizational name. Okay.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take y'all through this just as I went through this.
Yeah.
You're not going to know. I'm not going to tell you where the site is and everything like that. I'm not going to do any of that until after the fact at the same time when I did it. Okay. So we're going to take a journey through Dylan's little adventure. There was a video. Actually, back out for just a second. Just so that way I can see the whole thing. Yeah, there we go. So scroll to the other way. Yeah. Okay. So this little thing pops up with this picture. Go to the top of it. There you go. Okay. Well, okay. There was this thing that come across of a law. It's on the other side, right here. And so it says, please help support the blocking of SB405 in North Carolina. So I click on the thing, on the little notification or whatever on the Facebook. And it reads, sometimes a family learns their baby has a fatal diagnosis and will be born with only a short time to live. The decision of what to do next is one that only they can make. I'm assuming referring to the parents.
Right.
I guess they're including the doctors too. Whether they decide to end the pregnancy early or continue it must be left to the family, not politicians. Numerous health organizations representing thousands of clinicians, I can never say that word right, oppose these bills, including the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, American College of Nurses and Midwives, the Society of Maternal Fetal Medicine, to name a few.
Right.
Physicians who care for families in these situations have told us how their patients spend the very limited, devastating time with their infant comforting them. Okay, that's the premise of all this.
Right, that's how it all.
Then I went. There's a video. Again, not paying attention to the site, not paying attention to nothing.
Yeah. Well, let's do the video first.
Hit the video.
Yeah, we're gonna do the video.
Play the video.
Okay.
I'm Jennifer, and I am a labor and delivery nurse. I work with patients who might have just learned that their babies have a really rare and lethal diagnosis, and they've decided to end their pregnancy so that they can hold their baby during those final moments. Right now, I get to give my patients the precious time that they have left with their babies. They spend that holding them and talking to them, making memories. If things change, I will have to take these babies away from their parents. Doctors will be forced to make futile efforts to save a baby that they just cannot save. Politicians are trying to pass a so-called Survivors Protection Act, but I know that bill wouldn't protect anyone. All it would do is deny families time. These politicians have no clue what they're taking away.
Okay. Oppose SB405. Then I saw it, paid for by ProgressNC.org.
Progress in zero.
Progress. Because you know everything with the name Progress, and it is fantastic.
That
right?
means
Good
progress.
stuff.
It's good. You're moving forward.
So obviously, based off of what I read and from this video, something isn't jiving. Something doesn't make sense. And so I, being the inquisitive individual that I am,
Right.
I went to the actual bill.
Oh, that.
Pulled it up. General Assembly Bill.
No.
405, State Bill 405. All the definitions. According to this article, the following definition applies. Talking about abortion, attempt to perform abortion, born alive, blah, 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 blah.
What is born alive?
Born alive, we're going to get into that one.
Yeah.
The actual name that they're calling this is the Born Alive Abortion Survivors Protection Act.
So, first off, in the video, she skipped a word.
She skipped a few, but yeah.
Born Alive Act is all she said. And so, Born Alive Abortion Survivor Protection Act.
Yes. The Born Alive. Born Alive.
Yep,
and
yep.
we're starting at the very top of this. This is the under the definition side. Born alive.
Yep.
With respect to a member of the species Homo sapiens, because you know we have to get the legalese in.
Right. Got to be the legalese.
This term means the complete expulsion or extraction of his or her mother. Which sidebar? I thought there were more than two genders. Anyway. Of his or her mother, of that member, at any stage of development, who after such expulsion or extraction breathes or has a beating heart, pulsation of the umbilical cord, or the definite movement of voluntary muscles, regardless of whether the umbilical cord has been cut and regardless of whether the expulsion or extraction occurs as a result of natural or induced labor, cesarean section, or induced abortion. Okay?
So
that's what a born alive means. It's basically
getting rid of the legalese.
Yeah, no matter what happens, once it passes, it comes out. No matter what stage it's at, no matter any of that, once it passes the birthing canal or is pulled from the mother,
and it's alive still.
And is alive.
It's now a human.
It's called alive.
It's now human.
Okay. The General Assembly makes the following findings. Number 1, if an abortion results in the live birth of an infant, the infant is a legal person for all purposes under the laws of North Carolina and entitled to the protections of such laws. Number 2, any infant born alive after an abortion or within a hospital, clinic, or other facility has the same to the protections of the law that would arise for any newborn or for any person who comes to a hospital, clinic, or facility for screening, treatment, or otherwise becomes a patient within its care.
So I've got, just question.
Sure.
Question. So
sure.
Maybe this nurse was confused. Maybe she was confused because from what it sounds like,
what she was saying.
Yeah, from what it sounds like, from what she was saying, she would be in favor of this bill.
Should be.
Because she was saying...
She's a nurse.
She was a nurse. She was trying to give those families as much time with the baby as possible.
Yeah. Yeah.
And all the rest of it.
Yeah.
Now, what this is saying is that newborn has to be treated like a human.
Yeah.
After it's born.
Requirements for the healthcare practitioner. Maybe going on in this bill, we'll see where she's talking about. There must be something we're missing. In the case of an abortion or attempt to perform an abortion that results in the child being born alive, any healthcare practitioner present at the time of the child, the time the child is born alive, shall do all the following. Quote, exercise the same degree of professional skill, care, and diligence to preserve the life and health of the child as a reasonably diligent and conscientious healthcare practitioner would render to any other child born alive at the same gestational age. 2.
So give full. Yeah. Okay. Got it.
Following the exercise of skill, care, and diligence required under supervision, subdivision 1, which we just read, this section ensures that the child born alive is immediately transported and admitted to a hospital.
Okay, so this is probably where she gets it, because she was going in an abortion facility. Mm-hmm. And so if she's a nurse at an abortion facility, that's not actually a hospital.
No.
And it's not set or designed to keep children alive. In fact, it's set and designed to kill kids. So she's saying, once I've tried to kill your kid and it comes out alive and you just hold it for a few minutes, I'm going to throw it away. Whereas this is saying, no, you can't just throw it away.
You have to try
immediately. You have to try and keep it alive.
It gets better. We'll go deeper in this.
That's the difference between the two things so far that I've seen.
One of.
Yeah.
Here we go.
All right.
The next section, mandatory reporting of noncompliance. A healthcare practitioner or any employee of a hospital, physician's office, or an abortion clinic who is knowledge of a failure to comply with this requirement, which we read earlier, shall immediately report the failure to comply to an appropriate state or federal law enforcement agency or both. Bar to prosecution of mothers of infants born alive. A mother of a child born alive will not be prosecuted for a violation of or an attempt or conspiracy to commit violations of the laws and stuff above involving the child who was born alive. Lucky her.
Lucky mom who tried to kill her kid.
In the first place. Penalties in general, except as provided in subsection B of this section, unless the conduct is covered under some other provision of law providing greater punishment. A person who violates everything above is a class 1 misdemeanor, which shall include a fine of not more than $250,000. Unlawfully, now this is B, unlawfully killing a child born alive. Any person who intentionally performs or attempts to perform an overt act that kills a child born alive shall be punished as under murder.
Because it is.
It should have been from the beginning. Civil remedies and attorney's fees and blah, 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 blah. Point of all this is the lady sits there and goes, oh, well, you know that when this child is born and it's not going to make it, we know it's not going to make it. The parents just want to hold it and give it time because there's not much time left.
How do you know?
How do you know? You're a nurse. Your job is not to play God. Your job is to care for the sick, the injured, the dying.
But you've chosen a profession in the field of nursing that instead insists on you destroying life.
Well, we don't know if she works at a Planned Parenthood or anything like that.
She works at an abortion clinic.
Well, we can all assume
what she does.
We assume that.
No, it's not assumed.
Where did she say that?
It's her job is to allow those people the last bits of their time. That's where she works.
Here's my thing, though. And I've never had an abortion. I don't know anybody who has, so I've never asked this. But anybody listening, if you've had an abortion, when it was over with, did you ask to hold it? Did you at any point?
Alive?
No, not even if it was still alive. Because here's the deal: you're going in. If you're talking about it from way it's being described in this scenario, you're going in to have an abortion. You're going in to kill your unborn child.
Yep.
Okay?
Yeah. Because you think it's not going to survive even if it's born.
Yes. This law is saying that if it comes out alive, that, you need to take care of it and let it survive. The lady is trying to say, well, if it comes out born alive, then they want to spend time with it. If you show up to an abortion clinic, you don't want it alive to begin with. So enlighten me as to what makes you think this person who's gone in for the abortion is going to want to hold it or spend time with it.
So she's playing on the 1 in a million case that a doctor has prescribed the abortion.
Yeah. Basically.
She's playing off of that.
They're terminally ill and
she's playing off of that because there isn't that many where she could point out and actually dictate, oh, but it was ill. oh, but it was this.
That's what I was going to say. She kept coming back.
No, you're talking about third trimester abortions in most of these cases.
Yep. In most of it, what she kept saying, she kept referring to ill and being
Sickly,
sick and blah,
whatever,
blah, blah.
yeah.
Never once did she mention the fact of a botched abortion.
Right.
So, yes, to play off of that angle, it is so sad that this family doesn't get to hold their child that only has minutes to live. How do you know it has minutes to live? Just for one.
You don't.
You don't. And I know as a parent, if I was in that situation where the child comes out and they're like, we're sorry, sir, but that doesn't look like he's got a lot of time or she does a lot of time or blah, 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 blah. I'm like, well, do what you've got to do.
Try and save that kid.
Yes, because I would much rather you take that child in that moment and do everything humanly possible. And I sit and pray and hope that God does listen and brings them through that. If he doesn't, at least then we know we did everything we possibly could, as opposed to going, well, they say you've only got 2 minutes to live, so I'm going to hold you here as you suffer and die. Are you kidding me?
That's the worst.
And again, I watched this and it's a fantastic. Like, I got suckered into it very briefly
For a half second.
because I was reading it going, wow, that's kind of jacked up. Like, but it immediately hit me like it doesn't make sense. Who would sit there and take a child they've decided is terminally? Because when I hear terminally, I'm thinking like,
Well, yeah, it becomes terminally ill when you try to abort it.
Yeah, I didn't, but that part wasn't. Again, I didn't read for who it was from.
Most of the time, it becomes terminally ill when you try to abort it.
Yeah.
There are so many stories about these born alive children that actually survive and somehow make it out of there and actually get to a hospital, and then they are put up for adoption. And these kids are scarred for life, physically scarred for life because of
literally and emotionally and everything else.
Everything, because the chemicals that were used to abort them burned the skin off of their bodies when they were first born.
Again, by reading the actual law, all they're saying is, look, if a child comes out, regardless of what the situation is, if a child comes out alive, the medical professionals are to do everything they absolutely can to save its life.
And if you fail in even attempting,
then you get in trouble.
Then it's now
and there's
murder.
Consequences, which is what it should be. That's not the same thing as, oh, well, my little girl is, whatever. And I don't know what, kind of terminal thing that, from birth, the moment it comes out of canal under normal circumstances, a kid could be terminally ill and could die instantly. Sadly, the children I've lost were 3 and 4 weeks were naturally done, and it just happened. Like, I never got to the point of it come through and you only have a few minutes. I don't know what that pain is like. I know the other pain.
Yeah.
And I get reminded every year. Thank you, Facebook. But I don't know what that could be. But again, if I was in that situation, my brain goes back to, well, is there something you can do? Is there anything that can be done?
Right.
And all this law is saying is they have to say, yes, we can try. It may not work, but there is stuff we can do to try.
Yeah.
And they are supposed to try under penalty of law. They actually are being held accountable to hold up the
Hippocratic oath
that they gave in being medical care employees.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Technicians.
Yeah, whatever.
Whatever you're going to call them. Because they're not doctors. They're not nurses. These people are, they know the medical profession, but they're the antithesis of it.
Mm-hmm. And like I said, I'm glad I caught myself. I'm glad I got through it and figured it all out. But it's just fascinating to me.
Yeah.
That they've made this law that just says, hey, all we're asking is give these unborn kids a chance. Not saying that the mother has to keep it. Not saying that, the mother's completely resolved to the whole thing. She doesn't face anything.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand what the problem with that is. All this law is saying is give these kids a chance.
As a healthcare professional, because it's what you're supposed to do.
That's your job. And And it's incredible when you watch this stuff and you see these things pop across, how they manipulate and word things to try and sucker you into it.
Yep, every time.
And like I said, there was a brief half second I went, wow.
That sucks.
That's horrible.
That can't be right.
But all it takes is a little bit of homework, a quick, I don't use Google anymore, but,
quick search.
Quick search to look and do the homework for yourself. I mean, look where we're at now. Anybody gets suckered for it, and there's tons of people getting suckered every day.
Okay, I'm changing it now. Because it makes more sense to put it on the front. So
yeah,
I'm waiting for it to load. Once it
that
loads,
works.
I'll change it over there.
So I finally got home and log into the live broadcast, and oh boy, it's a DOE show deep night.
We're going deep, bro.
It is a tad, and
just a hair.
I got it. It's a little bit.
It's a.
But again, that's the joy of Mondays: is we get deep and then we kind of fizzle the rest as the week goes out.
Right.
Oh, yep. Good times.
Great oldies.
Yep. I have to just for clearance, in case anybody is curious or wants to pay attention or whatever. Tomorrow, I have to lead with a mistake.
Tomorrow? Why?
I'll tell you after the show, but you'll understand why. I have to lead with a mistake.
I mean, leading with our mistakes. That's what we do.
So I'll have to do that tomorrow.
Okay. All right.
I don't have time to do it all tonight.
All right.
So
Well, I mean, that's what we do.
that's what we do.
That's
so
what we do.
exciting.
Yep.
Enjoy. Da, da, da.
Make sure that's up there now. Yep.
Oh, beg your pardon.
It's Shrotar.
Nice. Right in the header.
Yeah, now I got it in the header. All right.
That's what she said.
Woohoo. Oh, look at that.
That's gross.
That's nasty.
Da, 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 da.
This is where that part where sometimes it's not so great to listen to us during the break.
I know.
This is one of those times.
We hyped it all up and ruined it.
Yeah, I know we're ruining an hour. That's
This is Defenders Live.
all right. So
We're
I changed it.
almost done.
I already changed the website.
He did.
Yep. So the Dear Defenders is now part of just the top header menu board.
All by itself.
So it's
on
all
the front
there.
of the page.
Yeah, boom, click it. Done.
Have fun.
Yeah. Send us a message. We
Enjoy. Pass it around. Let other people know that, hey,
we're giving out advice. Free.
It is. It's all free.
It's all free.
Now, we may use it for
whatever. But it's all free.
It's we're going to be putting it out to everyone, but it's free.
Yeah.
Because you never know. We might
free.
be able to help somebody.
And you know what? You might ask a question that somebody else has been thinking about forever.
Yeah. And you might, by default, then be helping that person with the answers
exactly
they're looking for. So.
Exactly. So it's free.
Go.
It's free for you, free for everybody, and it's just help all around.
Yep. Because that's all we're about here is helping.
Mm-hmm. So a couple of Democratic congressmen are seen shirtless and smiling while riding camels during a Middle Eastern trip that was paid for by special interest groups.
Now, I'm sorry, but this sounds like a lead up to a really bad joke. I mean, doesn't it?
It really does.
Democratic congressmen are shirtless in the Middle East on a camel.
Uh-huh.
It's
watch out, they spit.
Well, apparently one of these
don't. Yeah, Democratic representatives Eric Swallowell from California and Ruben Gallego from Arizona are enjoying a camel ride.
I'm sure they are.
Actually, I don't think Eric has ever enjoyed a camel ride before.
You don't know what his husband looks like. Saying. How dare you, sir? You assume a lot. He might be an attractive man.
Moose knuckles.
Moving on.
Oh, yeah, out in Qatar after along the Persian Gulf.
Hold on. And again, I try not to pay attention to news any more than I have to. I thought Qatar was still kind of...
It is a hot zone.
Yeah.
Yeah. A little
So
bit.
they're just strolling
They're strutting
shirtless.
They're shirtless.
On the back of camels.
Shirtless strutting it across Qatar.
I'm just curious as to why exactly a Democratic representative
Has the time?
or has the business being in a foreign place, especially a place such as Qatar.
Well,
now
see-
I'm not trying to tinfoil hat it and allude to the fact that
They were
he's
also without face masks.
Which, if you're going to be having been to the Middle East, there's a lot of sand there.
There is
a lot of wind.
That's the one place where I would be okay with the face mask.
I would be okay with it there.
Honestly.
I would think.
the sand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because that stuff gets
Everywhere. Yeah.
But no, I'm not being, tinfoil hattish. I'm just curious. I mean, and I'm not saying they can't take it trips anywhere, but it just seems a little bit weird that two, not just one, but two at least named politicians for the United States are hanging out in Qatar. It just seems weird to me.
Yeah, photos of the Democratic congressman in Qatar were published by Business Insider, which said that the trip cost $84,000 and was paid for by the U.S. Qatar Business Council, which described itself as, quote, dedicated exclusively to enhancing the bilateral business relationships between the U.S. and Qatar.
But what does
having congressmen over there have anything to do with business?
No. Okay, to a point, I will get that. I get it. It's like, hey, we're trying to work on business. We're trying to show people you could do stuff because if these politicians will show up, we're fine.
What does camel ride shirtless in the middle of the desert have anything to do with that?
That's their own preference, and I'm not even going there. But let's be honest.
Somebody's fantasy.
So we're in the middle of summer. There's still time.
Sure.
Albeit a kind of a pain in the butt with the whole you have to wear a mask on a plane still
Right.
and the whole vaccine, all that crap. But assuming that we were at a completely 100% back to normal world.
Yeah.
And you can travel and fly anywhere.
Sure.
You have the money and the time to go on vacation.
Or people are paying for vacations.
You have but you could do that. To go on vacation. Is Qatar anywhere on your bucket list? Like, seriously, is out of everywhere in the world you could go, would you go to Qatar? I see it.
No, I wouldn't go.
No, I'm sorry, but me
To
personally,
Qatar.
yeah, me personally, I'd go to Siberia before I'd go to Qatar.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah. Well,
and partly because I've been to the Middle East, I know what it looks like.
and you don't like sand.
I don't. Of course, I don't like snow either.
That's true.
I don't.
Yeah.
I'm
You're very middle of the road sort of guy.
I'm a fat guy who doesn't like cold. Makes a lot of sense.
I don't
doesn't
get it. I don't get it.
I'm just a fat guy who doesn't like cold. Usually, fat people like the cold because they're so fat. They're insulated and they're
But
putting.
you don't
off-
like being fat either.
I don't like being fat either, but
So at the same point in time.
there's a lot of things I don't like, and here we are.
Here we
so.
are. Yeah. Yeah. The photos have been posted on the social media page by Sydney Barron Gallego, which is one of the things, and the wife. Or Sydney is the wife of Ruben.
The senator. Okay, so again, I would like to know their connection. Like, I mean, are they just friends? Did they know each other forever?
The caption reads, "Sand dunes, camels, and the Persian Gulf."
That's it?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah. Swalwell was being scolded for not wearing a COVID-19 mask.
In the desert?
Yep.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
That was
That's
where people are being upset and
Right.
hanging their hat.
Yep.
Not the fact that, again, two United States representatives are hanging out
in the Middle East.
In the Middle East.
Shirtless on a camel.
Not that
At the Middle East dime.
Yeah, not none of that. That's not the problem. The fact that they're in the desert in 100+ degree weather without a mask. That's where we're going to be.
That's where that's where they're at.
Well, thank God we have our priorities together. That's all I'm saying.
That was it. That's
No.
all.
Big Pharma Steve on Twitter, shirtless riding a keytar. Did it come with an 80s perm fro too? No, you misheard us. What we meant was they were riding shirtless
on a
camel in Qatar. Q-A-R.
No.
Or Q-A-T-A-R.
There you go.
Qatar. It's common misunderstanding. I understand.
A keytar is very close.
I don't speak the words well.
Yeah.
But, B from the SCV. I make it a point to stay away from Business Insider. Right?
Well played, sir.
And yes, according to Sweatimus Prime over on Twitter, he didn't realize that I am Anakin Skywalker. I don't like sand.
You don't like sand.
I don't.
You don't.
You go out, lesson one, and if you ever do decide to visit anywhere in the Middle East for anywhere, of anything, of any kind.
Sand.
There's sand. Therefore, do not wear white shoes. You got white tennis shoes? Don't wear white tennis shoes. Don't do it. They will.
They're dead.
They're dead. Yeah.
They're dead.
You might as well just throw them in the trash when you're done.
That's right. That's right. So this is one that you brought.
I know. This fascinated me.
I mean, do you want to talk about it? I mean,
well, I kind of do a little, because it's funny to me.
Okay.
And not necessarily a ha-ha kind of a way.
Just kind of weird.
But kind of weird.
Yeah.
It shows that regardless of the situation, that let me back this up. This story that I'm about to dive into, to me, proves that regardless of how polarized all these different factions and everything are, and when you boil it down to its base thing, they still have that underlying American truth to themselves, even if they might be a little bit misguided. Okay?
All right.
All his life, Jabril Battle was anti-gun. Then came the pandemic, the lockdown and shortages, and a feeling that at any moment things could blow. Battle bought a Beretta. Drawn to the last summer's protest against police violence, Savannah Grace found herself face-to-face with a camel-clad officer's long gun. She always hated guns, but went out and got a Glock 45. In blue cities and red suburbs alike, firearms purchases soared last year to the highest level in half a century based on federal background checks.
Right.
A striking portion of those sales went to first-time gun owners, 40% actually, according to the Firearms Industries Trade Association. Other studies show that first-timers accounting for more than like a fifth of sales in 2020, but that's still unusually high according to retailers.
Right, yes.
Overall, gun ownership nationwide jumped from 32% of Americans to 39% last year, according to the University of Chicago's survey data, which I find ironic that the University of Chicago
has data that they surveyed
on
guns.
Yeah, I find it ironic.
Yeah.
Well below the 50% level a half a century ago, but still the biggest jump in recent decades.
Duh.
From the downtown streets left empty by the pandemic shutdown to the sharp spike in homicides and nationwide conflict over the role and behavior of police officers, a disorienting and often frightening year drove many decisions to buy guns, according to dealers and buyers alike. Now, bear in mind, this is coming from Yahoo, so I forgot to preface that earlier.
Yeah. This is a story from Yahoo.
So it's going to be
which is actually originally from the Washington Post.
Yeah. I like it's one of his probably meant to you. Show hates guns but gets a Glock 45 first. All right, just so we're clear.
Hashtag arm yourselves.
I would. Yes. She at least got smart with it. She wanted to do the most damage with the fewest amount of bullets.
Exactly.
I'm the same way.
That's how you do this.
My first official handgun was a 45 too. So
I mean, mine's a 9, but that's because
I got a 9 too, but that's because 45 is kind of big and
my first one was a 9.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Shut up, Big Pharmacy. I'm not even doing it. Nope. No. I'm not doing it. Not done.
Love you, buddy.
Yeah. Maybe not. At this point,
I do.
Yeah, he does. I'm kick your tail right now.
Anyway. Okay, so you're diving into this, and it kind of seems to be a theme.
There is a theme.
There's a theme to this story. And the theme of this story that I keep finding is that it doesn't matter where you are politically on the gun violence thing. You see threat to your life, threat to your livelihood. You realize a gun is a good thing, at least for you.
Exactly. That personal freedom, the ability to be able to protect oneself, is still there. Continuing on, a lifelong Democrat, she got a gun permit early in Trump administration, but didn't buy her first gun until last summer when the killing of Floyd and the protests that spread across the nation made Thomas feel, I forget her name, we skipped it, but
yeah, I'm sorry.
Feel like the country was spiraling out of control. Quote, like the world was in an apocalypse, end quote. She went and...
Wait, hold on. Whoa, stop.
Oh, you want to stop there?
Yeah, hold on.
Okay.
The world was in an apocalypse.
Yeah.
But she wanted to make sure that the world was gun-free.
Well, okay. If you go back up to it, well, there's a little bit further because there's a whole other section of her. Her name is Shakima Thompson, a social worker from Newark.
Yeah.
Had always thought guns is loud and dangerous.
Right.
It doesn't mean she didn't want anybody else to have them. Okay. She wanted nothing to do with them.
Yeah.
That was it.
Okay.
Didn't say that she wanted others to not have them. It was not her cup of tea.
Not her thing.
She grew up around firearms. Her grandmother carried a handgun in her purse, and several relatives were served in the military and owned guns.
Okay.
But Thomas, who was 39, never considered buying a gun for herself until Donald Trump's presidency.
That's kind of stupid.
It is. Trump's boast that he could shoot someone on Fifth Avenue and not lose any of his support made Thomas fear that some Americans might be emboldened to express their rage violently.
It's funny that it wasn't Trump's people.
Well, and it's a stupid thing, but it makes...
It was a bad phrasing on his part.
No,
yes.
It absolutely was, but I'm just saying it makes sense because as this article kind of touches on a little bit,
it was fear.
Gun sales happens under two different things, and we'll go into it in a second.
Yeah.
She walked into a store whose name is RTS, and she bought an AR-15.
An AR-15?
Yeah, an AR-15.
She went to an AR-15 immediately?
Yes.
Wow.
Months later, she added a handgun. Quote, I never felt like I wanted to own a gun because of the damage I thought they do to people. But then I started feeling unsafe. All of that changed. Sales to women and people of color rose in 2020. Firearm industry data shows that sales jumping 50% among black customers, 37% among Hispanics, 43% among Asians, though gun ownership remains proportionally lower among those groups compared with whites. And they go into that saying how, quote, typically my customers were always white men and women concerned about who was president or what restrictions were coming. That is according to Michael Carlig, owner of the Central Texas Gun Works in Austin.
That
Quote,
makes sense.
Last summer, you had the protests in downtowns were basically boarded up. Law enforcement all went downtown. Right away, we had lines out the door every day.
Yep.
Continuing on, it didn't matter if you were Democrat or Republican, black or white. Cargill, by the way, is a black guy.
Nice. Okay.
Quote, on one side, Trump is going to be reelected and it's going to be violent. On the other side, Biden's going to win and he's going to come after the guns.
That's basically it.
My instructors and I became like gun therapists for people who've never had guns before and really didn't like guns. One lady came in here in tears with her teenagers and said, quote, this goes against everything I believe in, but I need my family to learn how to protect themselves.
I'm sorry that it took that for you, ma'am.
Oh, absolutely.
But I am so happy that you took it.
I am too. And but a little thing to throw out there. Why was she scared?
There's nothing to be scared of.
No, but why was she? We know we can sit there and say it isn't.
Taught. Or she's been pushed into the idea through media and everything else.
Through the media. There's where I'm hanging.
Yeah, she's been taught
what
through
she's
media
reading
and imbibing and reading and all the rest of it that guns are going to kill you immediately.
Yeah, that any more guns out there is going to cause an issue. And these people are pushed to the point to believe that, for some of these people, like the lady had just said, it goes against everything she believes.
Okay.
It takes a lot. You have to be pushed to a point.
It takes a lot to change that.
Yeah, to completely disregard what arguably is a core principle
of your entire life.
It takes a lot to get to that point. And again, I apologize for you, ma'am, that you have to feel that you're at that point.
But I'm terribly happy that you are actually at the point to want to make sure that your family knows how to protect themselves.
Now, the only thing that scares me in this situation is what is it that you're afraid of? If you're one of those folks that believes that all cops are bad and blah, 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 blah.
Sure, right.
Sadly,
you're probably going to pull a gun on a cop.
Having this is probably not going to do the best as you think it is going to, but still.
And also remember that having a gun doesn't mean you're going to use it. And that having a gun doesn't mean that you're always completely secured. because one, you may not be able to reach your gun in time, especially if you put it far away from you.
Yeah, somebody can come in, the situation right now, and we're done.
Yeah, like I'd have to dive under my table and run to my. No, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, and mine's in the car, so I'd have to get outside, get to my car. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then get back in.
I mean, and the reason why we don't have them sitting here on the table is because there's kids in the house.
Well, and
they're running around all half the time.
And there's that. That's the bigger one.
They're running around.
They are half the time. The other part of it is there's a part of us that we still kind of believe that Americans and people are
generally good.
Is there a risk? Yes,
but it's minor.
It's a minor one, and not enough that where I feel I need to be packing constantly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, so we do still have a whole lot to say on this, but I do want to get to this one story.
Sure.
Either this one. Actually, I've got two stories I want to get to, but which one is more important to you?
I don't know. I feel like both of them could be burnt. Well, we got about.
Okay,
because
the timing. Because the timing.
Let's do that.
We'll do this one because the timing. We'll hit this one tomorrow.
Are you sure? Well, it won't be tomorrow because you're supposed to have Carrie, but.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, I can do this with Carrie.
Okay.
We can do that with Carrie.
Yeah, we could do that.
We could do that with Carrie.
She might have felt the urge.
Maybe.
You never know. She's married.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's go with this.
Just remember, a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down.
Helps the medicine
for tomorrow. That's
down.
For tomorrow as well. Tomorrow as well. So economists warn inflation is coming at levels not seen in decades. Our economy is going to overheat, is what they continue to say.
Is that what they're calling it? It's going to overheat?
Yes.
Really?
We're going to overheat our economy. Top economists are warning Americans to brace for several years of high inflation at rates not seen in decades.
Not seen in decades, huh?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Inflation, of course, means the reduction of purchasing power for every dollar in your pocket, and it's coming lightning quick. The Fed's preferred inflation gauge is the overall PCE index.
I don't know why.
Yeah, I know. I understand. Which includes food and energy prices rose 3.9% in May, nearly doubling the central bank's 2% target. Yeah.
Real quick, and you're faster at this than I can. Throw that up. I think while we're talking about this needs to be relatively thrown on the screen. If you're watching on YouTube's or the Facebook or Twitter's, anywhere we have the video on our website, the Mojo TV, anywhere else. I think that this is imperative to have this page up while you do this because it makes sense. Okay. It helps add to the, I don't know how to say necessarily nuances, but definitely it helps kind of drive the point home. Because these people, the way they're talking and acting are like, well, I don't understand. It doesn't make sense and blah, 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 blah. Throw that up real quick.
Yep.
And then we'll continue on. Again, if you're watching on all the social medias or whatever, and if you don't, you have a chance to go back and look at it, by all means do so. Because, again, it adds a little bit, it's really big.
It's huge.
I know you got to dance it a little bit.
There
you go.
And all right,
that's good enough.
That'll be fine.
That's good.
We'll put that.
There
up.
you go.
So here we go. You guys just keep looking at that while we talk about this. Just for a.
And it'll make all the sense. Here we go.
Right. The Wall Street recently spoke to several prominent economists who relayed a grim forecast about the near future of Americans' economies. The fact that they're predicting the inflation will rise to levels not seen since the early 1990s and have worsened since April.
Wow. If you're watching, you're looking on the Facebooks and YouTubes and everywhere else. And
we have the U.S. debt clock.
I don't know why. I don't understand what they're talking about.
There's no problems there.
The U.S. national debt is only at $28,514
no, that's not
billion.
The total. That's not the total.
No. But just that's the bigger number that they have splashed up there. And again, there's also more nuances to that.
Yeah.
But if you look just how fast that escalates, it's moving pretty quick.
Maybe we just,
since we've started this thing, it's already gone up $100,000. Oh, 200,000. Now we hit 300. We had 300,000 spent already. 400,000. 5. I think it's roughly every 2 seconds, give or take. We're getting at 100,000.
This is from the Wall Street Journal. The respondents on average now expect a widely followed measure of inflation, which excludes volatile food and energy components, to be at 3.2% in the fourth quarter of 2021 for the from a year before. They forecast the annual rise to recede to slightly less than 2.3% a year in 22 and 23. That would mean on average the annual increase is 2.58% from 21 to 23, putting the inflation at levels last seen at 1993.
Now, again, if you're watching and looking at this said debt clock,
we've already gone up a couple.
We've hit a
million.
We've hit $1 million a little bit ago.
Yeah.
Just since the story started, we've spent $1 million that we don't have.
Right,
that they're
right.
just printing, and they're acting like, wow, inflation is shocking. It's shocking. I don't understand why we're.
I mean, there was a thing that you were talking about earlier where you were like, you saw this story and then you saw like a tweet or something else about this plus.
Yes, I did.
Yeah,
I don't know if anybody's heard about this.
Yeah.
Apparently CNBC thought it was there's a silver lining to all this inflation.
Silver lining CNBC.
Yeah, they tweeted out that the silver lining to this inflation is that at least wages are higher.
No, they're not.
But no. The dollar number, yes, they are.
No, they're not.
But they are.
But they're not.
They're not worth.
It doesn't matter. They're still not.
No, but again.
Are you talking about annual wages overall? Because they're not.
Well, but the dollar value that you get, Michael. Okay, perfect example is we've talked to people, and I've looked at things, I've seen things. A lot of people are so hard up for people, and part of it is inflation, but part of it is just they can't find workers, that they're hiring people at prices that are well above what is expected.
Well above the normal rate.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I got you there. Yeah.
And because of that,
people were like, "Oh yeah, making more money."
So that's where CNBC got their thing from. Is like,
But
look, they're
not-
paying more, but they're not.
They're not.
That $15 an hour, say for working at McDonald's, equates to making about $5.
No, not 5
or less.
No, not
not
quite. No, it's closer.
It will
it's closer
be
to 10.
It will be.
But right now it's closer to 10.
Right now.
Yeah. That $15 is closer to $10 an hour like 10 years ago.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's getting worse, is my point.
Oh, yeah.
That
The
span
buying power,
is going to change.
And it's not going to change that dramatically.
Well, it will if we keep going at the rate that we're going. We've already gone up $2 million in debt, according to the national debt. And again, that's not everything, just the big one, the U.S. national debt thingy.
Yeah,
since we started the story.
Yeah.
$2 million in the hole.
Yeah, that's there. And that's just counting it how it gets spent like water. So
and when you start having, we're going to up the debt and we're going to send money overseas to people that don't need it and all of this other stuff. This is insane. The economy is going to collapse and collapse horribly. If you don't know how to take care of yourself at this point, if you are not even remotely attempting to become self-sufficient,
right,
you're going to fall by the wayside when time comes. It is going to get ugly when this thing busts. This is going to make the Great Depression of the 20s and the 30s.
Nothing. It's going to be nothing.
It's going to be a walk in the park.
If you so this is coming from a person who doesn't have any money.
Yeah, that includes me too.
Yeah. This is coming from somebody who doesn't have money. If you have the ability to make money right now, and a lot of it quickly, do so, and invest it into something that will, when the time comes, be worth something.
Do something.
Something that you can invest in, whether it's gold, because gold and silver and all the rest of the precious metals are a great choice for that. Why? Because they're a hedge against inflation and if the stock market dies.
Well, and it doesn't even have, and just so we're clear, it doesn't even have to be money.
Right.
Invest in something that will help you. If you're a gun person, probably the best thing that you can invest in right now is the ability in the stock of the
ability to make
ammunition. If you can stockpile that stuff and start making it on your own, do something like that. If you can learn how to can, if you can
have a
learn
trade,
how to something. Start investing in protecting yourself down the road. Get survival food. Get everything that you can possibly get your hands on. Start doing, and you don't have to dump a boatload of it in now.
No, just one little tiny piece at a time.
But some point, this is going to go up, and it's going to go up big.
And this is the sad part, because everybody does this.
Yep.
Everybody gets to a point, especially on like radio talk shows and things like that, just like ours. We get to a point to where we look at things and we're like, oh crap, it's actually going to happen. It's actually going to happen.
And it might not in our lifetime.
And it might not. We may not have it. It may not be worse. It may not be as bad as we think it's going to be.
But what if it is?
But if it is, then both of us are screwed.
Well, you're better off than I am right now.
Just barely.
Still better than me.
But yeah. But what we're saying is we're in the same boat as you. We're not sitting here on millions of dollars telling you to go invest.
No.
Invest $150,000 in gold or something. No,
we're in the same hole as y'all are.
We're telling you, man, just work it out. Work it out piece by piece.
Little bit.
Piece by piece.
Learn a skill.
Oh.
Learn how to skin an animal.
That'd be great.
Learn how to fish.
Do something.
Something that will benefit you. Start fires, all that kind of jazz.
All the rest of it.
It doesn't hurt.
Anything that's profitable for you as a person.
Get it now.
Get it now.
You know what I'm going to miss if this thing bubble busts?
American Pride Roasters
I
coffee.
will miss it
Oh my
so
God,
bad.
I will miss that so much.
But until that time happens, go to AmericanPrideRoasters.com.
That's AmericanPrideRoasters.com.
Yes, historically great coffee, guaranteed to make you swallow every single time you put it into your mouth. Mojo50.com. Those are the guys that keep us on. Thank you so much. Check them out over there, Mojo50.com, iHeartRadio, and the Mojo50 radio banner. Follow us on all the social medias at DOA Show. Our website, DOAEshow.com.
Don't forget, if you'd like some advice, go to the Deer Defender section.
They'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye.